The UK boss of the French energy company EDF says he is confident a new nuclear power station will be built at Hinkley Point, despite the government's decision to review the plans. In an open letter to employees, Vincent de Rivas said he regrets the uncertainty. The government says it will make a decision by the autumn. Well, earlier I spoke to our political correspondent, Alan Sodhi.
Well, the search has been on for clues over the last day or two as to why suddenly there is a pause from the government side in its support for Hinkley C, and particularly where it came just after the French giant EDF had said that it was going to press ahead with it, that it wanted to, and also where just before that announcement, Philip Hammond, the Chancellor, had given every impression that the government was still behind it. Now, the question is it, as some have suggested, simply that Theresa May's only been in the job, a matter of a couple of weeks, and she wants to have a look at it in depth because it would involve such a large amount of money, because it's such a huge long-term project? Or is she getting cold feet about it? Well, a clue from Vince Cable, Sir Vince Cable nowadays, the former Lib Dem business secretary, in a BBC interview this morning, saying that she had long-standing objections to this back to the coalition days, and that she was worried about a gung-ho approach, as she apparently described it, according to Sir Vince, in terms of the approach to Chinese investment.
That's a very interesting point, because George Osborne, the Chancellor, perhaps had the gung-ho approach. Perhaps that was what he was alluding to. And there are those who say this is such an important strategic matter for the United Kingdom, for any sovereign government, that you shouldn't, in effect, let not just the French, but particularly the Chinese, get too involved in a nuclear project.
No, that's right. And I think that when George Osborne was driving these connections with the Chinese and encouraging this sort of investment, I think there were other countries that were looking on and thinking, well, I'm not sure we would, go all that far. And so there have been long-standing questions around all of this. And if Sir Vince Cable is correct, clearly Theresa May was among those who disagreed with that approach. Now, if that is the case, it does rather suggest that this pause in the Hinkley project could be something more than just a temporary, let's have a quick look at it and then press on. It may be that this does mark some sort of fundamental change.